Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Fabric Espresso. My name is Filip, this is Mark, and Mark will tell us about mirroring.
Hi, my name's Mark Pryce-Maher, and I'm a product manager at Microsoft, and I worked on mirroring and I work on other parts of the Fabric DW. So, what is mirroring? So, mirroring, really simply and essentially, we take tables, data from Azure SQL DB, from Snowflake, and from Cosmos, and we replicate that across into Fabric Data Warehouse. And it's really that simple. And you move the data across, and we keep them in sync, and that's it. It's really simple. So any tables that you want, we just keep them in sync for you, so you can then do reporting on them, join any data, and just carry on your business and just move that data into Fabric. So now I'm gonna do a demo of Snowflake mirroring. So go to New and then Options, and then we can see there are the different sources. So Azure SQL DB, Snowflake, Cosmos. I'm going to pick Snowflake. And for speed, I did a little demo earlier, and I've already set up my connection, but I can go in here and I can have my connection details in. We support normal Snowflake or SQL authentication and also Microsoft. So which is AAD single sign-on. So go and pick that. And that's just for speed. Saves me having to type in my password and my details again. So we just click down here and we can see the databases. So I've just created one earlier called Espresso, just for this case. So I hit connect, and now it's going to show me all the tables. All right, we can see the tables just appearing here, just coming across, and in Snowflake, we will only move internal tables. We won't move external tables or tables backed by iceberg or temporary tables or temporal tables. These are just standard tables. So I'm going to leave them all selected and just hit connect. And this is the name of my Snowflake database. It's just inherited it and brought it across me, and hit create. And now it's going to start moving across that data from those tables in my Snowflake database and bring them across into Fabric. So now that it's created our mirror database, I can actually view the replication, and I can see it started and it's moved all these tables across. So all tables I wanted, and you can see all the rows, and you can see the date when it's last moved them across. And you'll see the status is running. That means that if there's any changes in Snowflake, they will automatically be replicated across. And obviously that's the same if it was SQL DB or Cosmos. So I can come in here, I can stop replication, and I can restart it. That does start it from scratch again. So there is no sort of pause. So just be aware, don't use these on really big databases. I can come in and monitor again, which is here, and I can configure. So I can actually change the tables that I had. So if I wanted to add more tables or reduce the amount of tables, I can click here, I can change it. But let's go across from here, up the top right, go to my SQL Analytics endpoint, and I'll see all that data and table in here. So what's happened in the background is that we've connected off to Snowflake. We've created a stream on each of those tables. We've moved across an entire copy of that table across, and we've turned it into Delta, and now it appears in OneLake. And if we have OneLake Explorer open, which we don't today because I'm being very quick, we can actually put this path in to OneLake Data Explorer, and we can actually look at the actual Delta table that's created. And when updates are happening in Snowflake, we are moving those updates across, changes to schema, etc. And you will see the Delta log changing. As each change comes across, we're obviously making that change in the Delta log. So everything that you are seeing behind the scenes is just Delta. So there's no real magic. All it is just normal Delta functionality. If you are Snowflake inclined and you like Snowflake, you can and you're an admin, you can actually go across into Snowflake, and you can see the queries that we're running on your Snowflake cluster. And we can see that the copy into commands, where we are moving the entire copy of a table across over from Snowflake into Azure Storage. And we can also see the streams being created. So we've got the copy into, and here we have the stream. So This is how we are actually doing the delta, picking up the deltas from Snowflake. And this is just standard delta. This is a standard Snowflake functionality. Nothing special happening here. And you don't need to be on any particular version of Snowflake for this to work. This will just work on the very basic version. And so that is Snowflake mirroring sort of in a nutshell. And SQL DB mirroring is very similar, and so is Cosmos mirroring. So this is how Snowflake mirroring works, but SQL DB mirroring works in a very similar way, and so does Cosmos DB mirroring.
That's awesome, Mark. So now it means that without building any ETL, we can use a mirroring feature that will actually perform the copying of data from other sources into the Fabric warehouse. And the best part, it will be ready in an analytical format, in Delta format, which means in a Fabric native format. And you also mentioned that internal tables will be copied. The others are not supported. And I'm wondering whether views are supported.
So views are not supported today, but let me just say that's not the best feature. The best feature is that it's free. So we're moving that data across for you. We're setting up effectively an ETL pipeline. We're keeping the data in sync for you, and it's costing you nothing.
That's really awesome, Mark. If you have any question, please let us know in the comments. Please share, like, and subscribe. As usual, this was Philip and this was Mark. Bye.
Bye.